tournament, T2 and T4 in his last couple of starts. His putting stroke will be completely legal next year, Gary, as
yes,
this anchor
it will.
kicks in.
He has the grip of the putter up against his left forearm. As long as it is below the elbow, he is okay. It's an unusual stroke, Kelly, in that it's something that Matt really kind of developed on his own. You can see the grip there very strong on the putter. And it's interesting to me when you watch that stroke, because the putter is up his forearm, it looks, in my mind, a little bit less than technically correct. The putter tends to go back very much to the inside, and then as he comes through, it goes out and to the right. Now, so much of what is taught now is, you have to be perfectly square at the setup. You have to have a stroke that arcs just the right amount and then is square at impact. I'm not so sure that you have to do that to putt well. If you go back to my generation and watch some of the players who played and putted extremely well, there were all different kind of styles. Here's Isao Aoki. The toe of the putter is totally up in the air, kind of hunched over. Look how low the hands are.
Made a lot of putts.
It worked for him. And how about Raymond Floyd? Stood almost straight up, feet very close together, longer putter, about 37 inches because he had short arms. And, oh, by the way, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Multiple major champions.
Yeah. How about Hubert, 19 wins, a couple majors for him. Split grip, hunched over. It worked.
Pretty good golfer.
Yeah.
It's a different era.
And then Billy Casper, 51 wins on the PGA Tour, locked his left wrist against his left thigh, and the putter never got past that. A pop stroke. And then how about Arnold Palmer? Look at the knock knees, the pigeon-toed stance, the hands right against the body. A risky stroke, but it worked.
And the best of all time?
Especially under pressure. I would have put him up against anybody until Tiger Woods came along and making pressure putts. Jack used that right arm, notice how it's folded there, and then used the right forearm, as he called, like a piston to propel the putter down the line. Now, even as he got older, the stance maybe changed a little bit, got a little bit narrower, but still the exact same motion. So, Kelly, I guess what I'm saying here is, to me, putting is probably the most individualistic part of the game of golf. I truly believe that you need to be comfortable when you stand over the ball. And I'm not so sure that all these putting gurus are putting people in positions to where they're comfortable. A lot of it is, can I feel like I see where I want the ball to start? Well, if you set up perfectly square, maybe you don't see that line.
And a lot of the guys that you showed only worked with either one teacher or none in their professional careers.
You saw them change very little.
You're talking about putting as more of an art and an innate thing than a science, but today one would argue that you almost need more science to take on the agronomy changes going on.
I would agree with that to a certain extent. No question at all that the greens are now faster. So certainly the strokes that maybe some we saw there, especially Billy Casper's or Arnold Palmer's with the kind of popping motion, might prove to be a little bit tougher to use. But, Brent Snedeker seems to putt pretty well, and he's got kind of that little pop motion. I guess what's interesting to me is, we just talked about it, that Jack Nicklaus, arguably the best pressure putter that I've ever seen until Tiger Woods came along. Have you ever seen anybody kind of copy Jack's style?
You don't see it.
No.
You see shades of it maybe in a few players, but you don't see it.
But it just would make sense to me that if the guy was that good, maybe it'd be worth a try.